with another episode of Brew Your Mind podcast, where we get to drink coffee and beer, and you get to sit back and listen to us ramble about what's on our minds. I'm Date Mike.
I'm Justin.
Nice to meet me.
Hey,
what's up, Jesse?
What's poppin'?
Brand new whip just
T.
hopped in.
This is Jesse, and you are Justin, and we are Date Mike together.
How do you like your eggs in the morning?
Well, funny you said that because I make my own eggs, and I made them this morning, and they were scrambled with a little butter, salt, and pepper.
Ooh.
So that's all you need, though. So what's going on in your life? Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining. As usual.
Welcome back.
Before we get all twisted up in each other, Justin, like we do, I'll talk about... I'll tell you what. So I don't have an exciting drink this week. I have Pete's coffee.
Yeah.
Regular coffee. See, I'm supposed to be quarantining, right? So I didn't go to the grocery store. So I had my groceries delivered today, and I had this one cold brew little coffee thing picked out, and I was like, "Oh, that's going to be awesome!" And then they were out of stock. So
No.
yeah, I was prepared to drink something different this time, but I got coffee and water sitting next to me. Got to hydrate.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. That's
what you
truth.
drinking, dude?
Stay hydrated. A different week means a different beer.
That rhymed.
Today I got a local brewski from Props Craft Brewery. It is called the Blonde Bomber Ale. This brewery is veteran-owned and operated. 5%. An American hybrid ale, Blonde Bomber is designed with the beaches of Florida's Emerald Coast in mind while paying homage to our rich local military heritage. Cheers.
Whoa.
Let's fire it up.
Dang, dude, that's like you was out in the emerald water today.
It's sweet.
I will
it's
say,
sweet.
I'm drinking this coffee out of a Starbucks. You know those mugs they sell in the towns?
The military ones?
Not the military ones, but the mugs that say like the cities on it, where they're at. I'm drinking out of a St. Louis one.
Nice.
Cheers to me and you, where all this began.
That's right,
really.
Man. Amen,
well,
brother.
kind of, but it's where it really blossomed. It's where Brew Your Mind got its birthplace. No.
Side note, the beer's awesome. Blonde Bomber, so cool. Love it. I'll do a solid like 8 out of 10. I also got a advanced care Pedialyte that I'll be drinking while we're doing this because I was on a boat today and I had quite a few drinks and I'm trying to rehydrate so we can stay live and rive. So Jesse, what's up, man? What's been new in your life, dude?
Oh, that was amazing.
Thanks,
live
brother.
and rive. Dude, you've been drinking today and on the boat and all this stuff?
Yeah,
and
the
you
camera
still wanted to do a podcast?
The camera could probably see I really got burned. And man, dude, I really try to stay on top of it today. I was putting sunscreen on like crazy, but I had to put a hat on for sure because my forehead is as red as a cherry tomato, and my body is red. All right, I need to stop talking. What you got, man?
My body is red.
What you got for me today, dude? What's been new? You're back in Alaska.
Yeah. Got back from Arizona a week ago, so here we are. And it's chilly up here. It's definitely fall. It's beautiful, man. But I've just been staying home, really. Quarantining, following the rules and whatever.
Yeah,
boring life. Life is so weird.
That's big facts.
So we got a checklist. Well, we got some topics that we're talking about today. Actually, I have no clue where we're going with this one.
That's why this is good. This is good when we do that.
Yeah, I kind of left it. I know we had some notes and stuff we want to talk about, but I left it. The ball's in your court, Justin T. Kate.
And I perform.
As they say.
Before we dive into that, what's so funny, Jesse?
I don't know.
I can't stop laughing.
I know.
Exciting news for our Brew Your Mind fan base.
Oh, yeah.
Listeners. This is something that we've mentioned in the past.
I'm excited.
It's finally coming to fruition. Fruition?
Fruition. I like fruition better. That's going on T-shirt. Fruition.
Yes, it's going to be fruition. I swear, guys, I'm not drunk at all. I promise. First beer of the day. No, listen. Patches. Brew Your Mind patches are coming. All right? By starting next episode, they'll be here. So be on the lookout, actually, next week on our Instagram page, Brew Your Mind Pod. That's when we'll announce when they're finally available. But it's a limited supply. So you got to make sure you get yours before they're all gone because we may not see them again. That's actually just a selling tactic that we use to try to sell them faster. But listen, we're not trying to make a profit or anything with these. We're just trying to get the brand out. And we know most of our listening base are military. So, Jesse, this was your idea with the patches, right? You came up with this idea. And then special shout out to Kara for hooking us up with the business to get them done. So we're really excited. The design looks awesome. And we hope you guys enjoy them. And I'm excited, dude. I'm gonna wear it in uniform, and I'm gonna wait. Some chief's gonna be walking up and be like, "You take that off," and be like, "Brew your mind," and just clap back at him and walk off. Yeah, man. I'm super stoked. They look awesome, and yeah, this is just the beginning. More and more things are gonna be coming.
This is we're definitely not making a profit on these. I'm not saying they're a lot to get made, but they're more than I think we're expecting. And also, we don't want to charge that much. So if you really like our podcast, this is straight up just to show support, really. I don't know how much we're charging yet, but we're not going to make probably we might make $1 off each, maybe. I don't know. But
yeah, so we're going to charge we're going to charge $15 a patch, and we know that's a little bit on the pricier side for a patch, but this is just to get the ball rowing, like a boat. No, to get the ball rolling, and yeah, it's gonna be good. No pressure to any of you guys, that are frequent listeners. If you're not interested, that's fine, but I will judge heavily on who I ship these out to.
That's true.
Just feeling it, dude. So
I can't wait. This is another avenue of disappointment we've created for ourselves. We're going to get 30 or 40 patches made and be optimistic, and then these people that we think have been listening, they don't buy it at all, and we're stuck with all these patches.
That was like that one time where we had the mug giveaway and only 2 people entered for a free mug, and I was like, this is disappointing.
For a free
shout
mug,
out to you, Dave.
Yeah.
Muggate 2019 is a thing. Justice for DB. You still got to get a mug for you.
That's okay.
Yeah, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we dive in? Anything? I mean, your move is coming up in a couple months, right? It's right down the road. Next month.
Oh, yeah, in a couple of weeks, really.
What?
Yeah. So should be leaving here between the 10th and the 20th, sometime in there of October.
So
that's more than a couple of weeks, but it's basically, a month, I guess.
It's going to come up quick.
Yeah, man, I'm getting nervous, man.
Yeah,
getting nervous.
PCS,
I hate it.
All the stuff you have to go through and all the paperwork and
plus I can't even be at work right now.
Yeah, you're basically out processing, huh? I
don't have a work computer. I'm trying to get one, but I can't go to work to get one, and no one can technically bring me one because they can't get near me.
Oh my gosh.
I could drop one off on my porch, but so that's a whole thing.
A CAC reader, huh?
Does it work with Apple computers?
Yeah.
Does anyone know?
I was using mine. Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. You just got and we'll talk about this after the pod. But there's just a step-by-step thing you have to do, but then it works perfectly fine.
Dang.
What's poppin'?
Just happened.
Yeah, man. That's exciting stuff, dude. Because it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be long until I make that Savannah drive.
Oh no, it'll be like you helped me move in.
That's dude. Hey, I'm your moving buddy, dude. Remember the Kiesler days? I got you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what's been good in your life, dude? Honestly, I don't have much to say. It's a blur, and I just came back here, traveled, and I've just been sitting. I will say I've been catching up on some video games.
Okay. Yeah.
And I will say very quickly. There was a huge sale on Xbox, and I was scrolling through it, and I was just like, I ain't gonna buy anything. There's nothing I want to play. And I get towards the bottom, and I see on there Splinter Cell. Did you ever play that game?
Oh, throwback, yeah.
Yeah, it's a It's an original Xbox game. So I bought Chaos Theory, which is the third one. Oh my goodness, that is still such a good game. I
You
just
enjoying
beat
that?
it. It's not very long, especially if you kind of remember how to play the game. But
Yeah.
dang, man, I miss those old school classic stealth games like that. Like they need to make one
yeah.
bare bones like stealth like that. I swear they had something, man.
Wasn't that new game that just came out? I guess with a DLC, pretty sneaky. We played it together when it first came out. I can't remember.
Was it Tom Clancy's or something? Or
No, it wasn't. Dang it.
dang,
Oh well. Yeah, I had something, but no, I don't.
some
But
kind
yeah,
of stealth game.
that's sick, dude. I love how
don't
you
know.
can just pick up games and play and just beat them. No big deal. I suck at committing to a new game. It's like a new show
I
for
do
me.
too.
Like
Yeah.
Money Heist has been on my watch list for I don't know 2 years now, and then just the other night because I'm on mid still, I need something to keep me up, so I turned it on. But like it took like an actual effort for me to turn it on because it was a new show. I had nothing. I didn't know what to expect, and now I'm
feel
stuck
you.
to it. I can't stop watching it because it's really, and that's what happens all the time. I just get stuck into it after I'm committed. It's just the committing process. But dude, Money Heist, have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
I didn't
watched
know it was
anything.
I didn't know it was like a Spanish show, and like everyone's Spanish and they speak Spanish, and then it was dubbed over in English. So yeah, it's really good, super good. But yeah, other than that, for me, not much. Just went out
Dude.
to the Crab Island today. It was pretty cool. It was my first time being out there in Destin, and a bunch of people out there with their boats and acting
looks
buck wild.
beautiful.
And it was a super sunny day, but I guess it's gonna be like the last sunny day for a little bit because it looks like we have a hurricane coming our way right now, or at
Nuh-uh.
least a little pretty close to us, either Sunday or Monday morning. So
What?
that's cool. That's cool. Florida living, gotta embrace it.
Brand new whip. I just
Brand new, it just hopped in. But yeah, man, here we are, people. We're back and better than ever, and Jesse doesn't know which direction we're going, so I'm gonna take it a direction right now.
thank you.
Today's topic, people. Hey, and also what we talked about last week, I had some people reach out to me and talk about the what we were talking about in the episode, and they really enjoyed it. Felt like there's some good conversation. So hey, we're gonna try to keep that momentum flowing and continue it this week by talking about what do we normalize that is somewhat inherently bad. A crown is a representation of power, legitimacy, victory, and glory. If you know anything about any of those things, you know that they don't come overnight. It's a journey. Crown Supply is a lifestyle brand built with hopes to inspire others to embrace their journey. And today, Jesse, I'm embracing mine with the Embrace Your Journey white tea because it is a very special day for our listeners. That's right. All Brew Your Mind listeners get 15% off on all orders at the Crown Supply store. All you guys have to do is type in the promo code BREWPOD. That's right, 15% off. Go to crownsupply.store.com today, use the promo code, grab your crown, and embrace your journey. Back to the show. You got some good stuff on
man.
this, Jesse.
I do.
You got some good stuff that you wrote down.
Oh, I wrote things down. Oh, I did. I did this before. Oh my God, I'm such an
Hey,
idiot.
everybody, welcome to Brew Your Mind, where
I know. I wrote this.
Justin
part.
goes from a list and Jesse rambles.
Golly. There's lots of things, man. I can ramble off the top of my head. What is it? I mean, I guess it's subjective, of course. It's all based on opinion here. But I tell you what, I'll say this because it's fresh on my mind. I just got through watching. I was out there eating a little bit ago. And it's like scrolling through Netflix. I ain't been on Netflix in a minute, and I see what most popular. And there was some cooking type thing that was on the most popular. I think it was like something about barbecue, Chef's Barbecue or something. Anyway, I was like, well, I like watching food shows. I'll turn that on. Well, it was this whole episode, the first one. It's like, it was probably 45 minutes long, about this barbecue place in a small town in Texas. And it was the main draw of it was that it was an 85-year-old woman who was the pit master. And it was just talking about, it was just following her life, really. Mm-hmm. And it was super interesting. But she was harping on, you know, the highs and lows in her life. And so she had some tragedy. It was really, man, it was wild to watch, but really emotional. But she had, her husband, of course, passed away before she did. He had a stroke or something, and, you know, he was already pretty old. I think he was a little bit older than her. And then she also had a son who she wasn't super close with, and then they got close through working together, and then he died as well of brain cancer. So here she is. I mean, she's probably, at this point, 70 or 80, you know, and all alone. And it's like, man, that's sad. And the main emphasis that she was talking about was she grew up at the very tail end of the Depression. So her family was poor. You know, they had to make everything, hand-sewn clothes. You know, they killed their own meat, all that stuff, raised whatever they could. They didn't have money for groceries. So she said that, you know, that kind of trained me in my life to be independent and to kind of always sort of keep to herself in a way or not ask for help. And then towards the end of it, after her husband and son passed away, she's going through this great big part of her life that she's just lonely, you know. So she ends up she had done barbecue stuff for years and all this and that with her husband. And then she's a janitor at a school or something just to get through the loneliness, you know. And then eventually she goes on to be this big, huge thing. They won like best barbecue in Texas one year, which is like a huge deal, obviously. And then so they're super popular. But she found this. She wasn't lonely anymore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think I think what's troubling. I think I always talk about it is in our society. It feels like there's less emphasis on community, and more things are automated, and you know, we could live somewhere and not even talk to our neighbor for years, you know, next door. And that happens. I do it. I hate it. But it's just what people do. They keep to themselves. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of sad, you know. It doesn't feel... I feel like that kind of thing is normalized with a lot of people. The lack of community, you know, living in apartments. Mm-hmm. You know, I lived in an apartment before here, like for 2 years. I didn't talk to my neighbors once, I don't think. I had tried to, but they always just darted and kept to themselves. I always thought, you know, that's normal. I was like, well, you know, I'm not going to impose on people, but where I'm from in a small town, it's like everyone knew everyone. Mm-hmm. And everyone would make small talk. And everyone would wave at each other, and you see, you know, there's a sense of community. There's a lot of people that hate that, though, because they feel like they just want to be left alone. But what I think, in my opinion, is there's like a tendency to want to be left alone. But overall, I don't think it's good and healthy for you. I think it's something... There's something really vital and important in community that I don't think we recognize enough. You know, we want to feel like we belong. And, you know, we see people like social media is just like a different, people trying to find a community or something and feel important and feel loved and, you know, feel involved. And you don't get it. It's like a concept, but it's not natural. So I know people like to harp on negatives about social media, and I don't want to do that to sound like a boomer over and over again, but it is interesting to think about how normalized it is that people can, you know, live somewhere and not be warm and, you know, show up to a friend's house without even telling them, or if they live nearby, or you know what I'm saying, like those kind of things, which are uncomfortable at first, you know, of course, but I don't know, man. I miss that. I think the older I get, the just more simple of a life I want, and definitely community. Looking back on my younger life, where I was from, to like now, it's like there's definitely something lacking, and I think it's probably a lot of people feel that way too. I don't know.
I get that. Like growing up, I always, because you see it in like movies or TV shows. You know, you move into a new house, and you got the neighbor, and it's cheesy a little bit, but you got neighbors, you know, coming over with like a baked dish, you know, and saying, "Hey, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm blah blah blah," and here we thought we could make like a little welcoming. And like growing up, I was like, man, I can't wait till I move into a new house. You know, I can get into, you know, doing something like that and have like a neighbor in the community. And then, you know,
I know,
since I don't know, it's just like it's never even come close to that from all the places that I lived at. And then even this most recent one, thankfully, you know, I got the opportunity to meet my next door neighbor who, you know, he's getting the front of his house all done up with, you know, new sod and whatnot. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey, you want me to get it extended over to your side of the lawn too, so it doesn't look as bad?" You know, it's just like little things like that, you know. And you know, he's prior Air Force veteran now, and you know, we talk about golf, and it's just things you wouldn't know, you know, unless you know, actually introduce yourself or got on the show, and you know, try to break that trend of just being tucked away. But like you said, some people like that. Some people are down to keep their head down and just worry about themselves. But that fulfillment I get from even just running down the street and like waving at a car, you know, just something like that. It makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like a sense of belonging. So,
and it feels like safe too, knowing that if you know the people around you and something's going on. I mean, it's a very primal thing, I guess, like the community thing, you know, like that. But I can't tell you. There's been so many times I've wanted to like, you know, just walk over to a neighbor's house and be like right after I move in or something, be like, "Hey,
I'm new kid on
it's
the
me."
block.
You know,
It's me.
just to feel like I know the people around me and give them some warmth that I want to give and receive it back, maybe. And I don't know, man. I don't know if that. I feel like maybe I'm just stepping on toes, you know, telling people that they need to live their life that way. But for me, it's definitely like the whole way that everyone keeps themselves so much is. I think we need to bring back bringing pies and stuff to people, casseroles down the street, make that normal.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if you live next to your neighbor or someone you don't know, bake him a casserole and take it over to him and let me know how it goes.
Make
I know my
casseroles great
neighbor's
again.
here actually, but
Yes.
I live next actually to two old couples, one right behind me and one to my left.
Those are the best to live by.
Yeah, they
older
are.
couples.
Especially because next door, Randy, dear Randy,
Hey, Randy.
he always brings me beets and stuff over or whatever, potatoes, some lettuce, whatever he's growing. Mm-hmm.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
He's a wild man.
Feeling right there.
It is, man. It's nice, you know, knowing that he's, you know, right there, taking care of business.
All right, Jesse, I challenge you when you get to Savannah.
Okay, you're right.
That's challenge number one is to become outgoing and make sure your presence is known in your neighborhood in the best way. If that means getting on your drums or going door to door and saying, "Hi, it's me."
Hi, it's me.
Hey, it's Date Mike. Nice to meet me. But yeah, man, I totally agree. That's a real good point, and that's just something that has become normalized over the years. And dude, this topic is so interesting to me because with things that we normalize, it is always kind of like evolving. It's always changing year by year. There's always something new that becomes the ordinary. I mean, obviously this year with the mask, everyone's wearing it now. We don't think about it, right? It's on your face while you're at work, and that's it. You know. Mm-hmm. But like it's always changing. Even like the social media, and that's even a note you put down. With the different aspects of social media that we just become so used to, and you know, without it, I think a lot of us would be like, wait, how do we live? That kind of thing, you know. How do we proceed? So it's really interesting. Really interesting.
Like, I mean, it'd be like such a funny thought. Like, what if just all the social media stuff just disappeared? Like today, how much of a sense of whatever would people have in their real physical life around them? You know what I mean? Like, would you have a good group of friends real tight, you know, or would you have a good well, I don't know, some kind of community, something that you're into that you know other people. That's important, man. Can't be sitting at home all day.
Do you think
I'm
the
talking
lack of
like everything's gone. Like no
do you
Twitch.
think the lack of
nothing.
social media would make it make people more outgoing?
Yeah, I think it would make them have better social skills for sure because they'd have to. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no doubt, I'm sure, that generations before us could resolve problems and confrontation and all this and that. They handled it much better, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. I hate confrontation. And probably one of the biggest reasons why I hate confrontation is because I don't really have to deal with it that much, I guess. Because people, I don't think people are as... I don't think people are. I don't think they confront social issues probably as much as they had to before. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and even to bring this up, I got this paper that I wrote in regards to social media, and if it's more of a negative impact than a positive impact. And like the first thing I write about is that disconnecting and becoming more socially isolated. And that exclusion are more substantial negative effects when you use social media and when that social media increases. Because that social media, it gives you that that false sense of connection. I like mixing my words and shortening my sentences. Sea world, China, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, social media is a false sense of connection. So I think if we get rid of social media altogether, I don't know. Then it's just that's a scary thought, actually. It even bothers me, and like I try not to get on social media too much, but without it, it's just like you have to watch the news again. I hate watching the news. Ew, news suck.
Yeah,
but
news suck.
Is that what we did before social media? Like we watched the news and read the newspaper? That's weird, man.
You'd be watching MTV music videos.
Yeah,
Nickelodeon.
And now we're watching TikTok.
It's a wild time, man. Think about it from our point of view. If we did this something like a podcast, it'd be like, well, you'd have to be a radio talk person. That's basically it. There was no way to share it, you know.
Man.
So there's all these different people that have all the access in the world now to make music at home, make a podcast, make your own television show, basically YouTube. And upload it immediately with no like middleman at all. Yeah, like there's no quality check on ours when we hit post or whatever. Not really. I don't know if you listen to the whole thing, but you know what I'm saying. Like we don't have a team; it's just you and me. Oh, you do.
Yeah. I can't make sure it's a bad product that's getting pushed out.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I try to fast forward through my voice, and I just listen to your voice. So.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Well, I don't watch whenever I edit the whole YouTube video. I don't watch the whole thing. I skim through it, make sure it looks good.
Yeah, and you crush it, by the way.
Which, hey,
side note, people, we decided that the YouTube video is going to go out the following Monday that the episode drops. So you get the audio first on Brew Your Mind Monday, and then you get the video on the following Brew Your Mind Monday. So each week you have some Brew Your Mind content. Yeah. Don't forget to go to the YouTube channel.
I'm glad you said that because I meant to mention that last time. Because I was like, you can find this on YouTube. And then I should have said, well, a week later, a week after this, after you hear this.
Everyone that's listening was going to YouTube and they don't find it. And then they're like, all right, whatever. I'm done with this podcast. It's stupid.
Yeah.
What else you got, Jesse? What else you got?
Well, I made some notes here. I mean... What do you think about? It's weird. This one's weird. Alcohol. So do you think we normalize it is it too common, too normal for people to have drinks when there's so much of an issue? I'm just saying I think maybe there's more health risks and unhealthy things involved with drinking beer quite often than we think, maybe. Or even, like, on that note, like, I don't know, because it's kind of like stigmas, really. It's like People used to like demonize alcohol like crazy. Now they don't. And then the same thing with like marijuana. It's becoming
more and more
pretty normal, you know.
Yeah.
So is it bad to be normal? Is it good to be normal?
I will say with the alcohol aspect, and now seeing, you know, being in England, everyone's starting to drink at 18. There's a little bit different vibe because, and I was telling someone today, I was like, so underage drinking for us, you know, normally starts at, you know, like 18, 19. People are getting a little crazy with beer or alcohol or whatever. And I don't know if over there they're starting at like 15, 16 because, you know, they start drinking at 18. You know, like I don't really know the answer to that, or I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, I feel like it's more normalized in other places than like England. Definitely seems like it's more normal to go out there and go get a pint. You know, where hey, we're going to the pub, we're getting a pint. That's just something we do.
Right.
And I guess here in the States, I don't know, it's probably becoming more and more of a thing. Like, hey, we're grilling and have a beer with it, you know. And it's just like you don't think anything of it, you know, because most of the time if we hear someone, let's go grab a beer or something, it's a little bit different. Like we're not going to grab a beer and try to get hammered drunk, at least not anymore. You know, in my age, you know, and maybe that's the move college, but I think it's just the variation and having to know.
That's interesting.
You know,
it's like different culture, you know. Like
growing
growing up
experience.
is like it's like I think I still don't think I've had a drink around my parents. And I don't think I have because I don't know where. Of course, growing up in the South, the Bible Belt and all that, you know, very Christian and church, and you know, it's kind of slow moving these changes, you know, like people can view gay marriage as like not a big deal, or alcohol is not a big deal, or weed's not a big deal, or whatever. For most of the country, well, maybe not even most, but a large part, and then you get to the South, and typically, well, it used to be this way, probably not now. It would be a lot more of a slower acceptance rate on things, you know, so. Like where I was from, like alcohol is like there. I mean, we were a dry county. We didn't have liquor stores or anything like that. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So I was raised, and it wasn't like intentional, but it was just a product of like where I'm from. Like hearing about people drinking or like getting drunk or like whatever. I always thought that their life was in shambles. You know what I mean? Like they're on the wrong path.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't normalized, you know, like that type of thing. But I forget where I started with all this. But I mean, it's not. I don't want to talk about this. I don't like talking about the South like there's some slow place, you know, with progress. Just how it was then. It's probably different now because everyone's so connected now, which is a good positive thing of social media and the internet. Everything is streamlined. So, you know, you're not having much of a regions in our states where people are backwards thinking all over or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same. But is alcohol too normalized? I don't think so. I think it's probably good. Actually, I was watching a short. I'm not sure who did it. What news it was? Maybe it was Vice News. It was a short video on YouTube. I saw it, and it was comparing the way they treat drugs and how they charge people or help people. And it was two starkly different views on it. It was Portugal and Philippines. Portugal, I think back in 2001, they decriminalized drug use altogether. So if you were caught with heroin or something, they weren't going to put you in jail. They were just going to give you help. That was it.
Wow.
Like, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So they had a positive, instead of criminalizing it and demonizing it, they had a positive turnout. Like, drug overdoses went down like crazy. Obviously, prison, there weren't nearly as many in prison, all this and that. So a positive change, right? And then Philippines took the opposite route. They took the extreme war on drugs route, basically, doing, nightly runs through neighborhoods and checking people for drugs. If they had it, they were prison immediately. So, and a lot of people just shot. Like if they were selling drugs, caught with so much, shot on the spot, no question. Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I say that to say that I think it's good that we normalize, whatever, alcohol and weed instead of criminalizing it so much. Because obviously, when you make things outlawed, prohibition, there's lots of crime that comes out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I don't know. People want to get rid of the problem, but people don't respond to it that way. Yeah, which is like, if they got rid of guns in our country or something, I'm not super pro-gun or nothing. I don't want people to get up in arms with me.
No. Everyone's tweeting about Jesse right now.
I know. They do it, man. Everyone does.
Down goes Jesse. He loves our guns.
There would just be a prohibition of guns, and you could go, down to the speakeasy and get your AK-47 or whatever it is.
Yup.
We'd all be hooting and hollering down in speakeasy, like so happy, shooting bullets up in the air in the ceiling. They can't tell us what to do, government.
These are our guns now. Mm-hmm. What's the password then for the speakeasy?
Brew your mind. See, if we do that, it's synergy right there.
That
way, everyone know.
They just show up and they're like, "Hey, it's me," and then and then just hand out the AK-47s because that's what we're rolling with. But yeah,
got to do it.
I think we're in a good place. We're in a good place. You mentioned TV. What did you mean when watching it or because everyone watches Netflix, so everyone assumes and the first thing is oh, you've seen blah blah blah, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I get how common it is to expect that people have seen every show. Is that good or bad? Because if you can expect that everyone's seen the new season of Stranger Things or whatever, and it just came out a week ago, it's like, damn. Because you got to be sitting for a while watching these shows, right? So it's like, is it good, bad?
Yeah, and now that shifted because years ago it was one show that came on once a week that we had to watch at this one time on the one network. And then everyone would talk about the next day. But now with Netflix and all the streaming services, a show gets released, and then all of a sudden, majority of the people binge it as quick as possible. And then, it just becomes that middle ground of conversation starter for most people. Watch this, blah, blah, blah. Do you see that being a problem?
On a side note, I do. It is awful to think about. Imagine being on the set working for this show. This huge year-long shooting for this one season or whatever. All this planning, all of this nonsense goes into it. Same for video games, actually. Mm-hmm. All of this love and sweat, all this goes into it. This huge costumes, writing, everything. And then it's out, and people literally can binge it within a day. One day.
That's a good point.
And then they come around with their stupid opinions it was okay. And it's too much.
And you got people we want the next season, and they literally they just watched it in one day, and they already want the next season that took, you mentioned, years to get ready for.
Yeah, a year or two. And then people are like, man, I really want this next season. But you don't know how much goes into it. You know what I'm saying? It's absurd that's where we have fixated ourselves with entertainment. It's I don't know. I actually don't mind if they go back to the one episode every week type of thing. I
don't think we appreciate what we have right now.
Yeah, it's too fast. It's too much. I think so. I think we should normalize this binging thing, and expecting to get a season, all of it right then and there. I liked how they did the Michael Jordan thing. Yep. They prolonged the interest. Which is ultimately better for ad revenue. But
absolutely.
But with the Star Wars show, what was it called? Mandalorian, they did that too. That was the first show I'd watched in a while where they spaced it out instead of giving it to you all at once. And I was like, I'm not mad because now I'm going to be able to think about each episode, ponder,
Yeah.
and then anticipate the next one. It
But
kind
the
of
show's
kept
not going anywhere. I don't get
Yeah.
the reason for binging.
it kept my interest long. It's that same feeling when you binge a video game and you're like, this is so amazing, I can't stop. But then you get through it
And then
so
you get
quick.
done.
You're like, I wish I'd taken my time more, because you can't undo that experience. You know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know the ending, especially if it's a good story video game. You're like, damn, why did I go through that so quick? It's this, like, I don't know, this great big conundrum, because it's
That's
so
really
good you can't stop watching or playing it. But then ultimately it's so sad. That's probably why people say books are better, because there's so much more detail and it's a slower process. You have to absorb everything, and you create these images in your head, personalized to you. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever your imagination paints for you, So something interesting to be said about that. I don't
really
like
good point.
books. They put me to sleep most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm a really slow
try.
reader, but I think we should normalize not getting a full season
I like that.
in one day. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I don't know. That's just I just feel bad for. I mean, the people that make the show, they don't care. They're like, if
Yeah,
it gets
it's money in their pockets,
Yeah, if they get received well. But I think there's a certain art to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people drop an album, and then people are like reviewing it within an hour or two. It's like you can't possibly like.
Dude, it takes me at least 3 run-throughs
Conceptualize.
to like know if I like the song or the album. For
That's
sure.
good. You should have that feeling. Because it changes. It really does. Like music's wild like that. It's like how you can just not like it, because
Depends on your mood too.
it depends on your mood. It depends on what you've built up in your head. Like if it's a band you really love their past work, and you expect it to be like their past work or whatever,
Yep.
and it's
I know where
not.
you're going.
And then you're like, man, I don't like it. The first day you're like, it kind of sucks. And then like a month later you're like, okay, this is obviously very different, but it's still so good. Like, you need to give yourself time, is what I'm saying, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I do the same thing. I do the same thing whenever Game of Thrones was going on and it ended. I had my opinion made up immediately. Like, I didn't let myself think about it. I think a lot of people did that too. It's just like the negative train. It's just like, well, what would I have written? Or like, that's actually pretty smart, or not. They did what was unexpected, or they didn't go the romantic ending type of thing. They just threw it all out the window,
Yeah.
which is kind of what that show did. Anyway, I was ranting about that show.
That's
I'm
fine.
just saying you should normalize taking your time with products.
I like it. I like
Soak
it. And
it
I
up.
thought about this while you're talking about something else that we normalize now and has become the new thing. But DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats.
Instacart.
Man, that is Instacart.
I used that today.
Okay, Instacart I really don't have a problem with because that's like your own groceries.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But A, with these delivery services, you're paying more.
Yeah.
And B, it is also making sure you never leave your house.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand, I guess, during these maybe troubling times earlier, but I guess they probably stopped it, period, because they didn't want people delivering. But I just think it's awful. And now it's becoming a bigger and bigger thing. And people can just, sit back. And I don't know. I'm cool with getting the pizza delivered like back in the day. Let's get pizza delivery,
Yeah.
like be able to get anything that you want at your front door. Yes, the convenience is great, but it's just making people lazier and lazier, and another excuse to never leave their house. And that's not what we need as the community, as we mentioned before. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
That
agree.
crossed my mind randomly. It's like,
It's like, it's like, I mean, think of how, like, it's like, I try and view all these little interactions as like crossroads between convenience, really. I mean, ultimately, if I cooked something or I got it delivered, it would be the same type of thing. But what I'm saying is, I guess, is it's harder to cook things, but it's also cheaper, and healthier most of the time. So I like to think of the fulfillment. And I struggle with this all the time. Me and Katie we'll be like, man, we're tired today. Should we just get DoorDash or something? Because it's easy. Because cooking is a hassle. But you got to think of each day is an opportunity to, to be proud of the day or not. You know what I'm saying? And all these little... and all these little things, man, all these little choices we make, small choices, they add up. And then a week passes and you feel like you're not worth anything. You're like, oh, man, it's because we make these lazy choices. And I'm not preaching to people. I'm preaching to myself because I do it too. I make these stupid, lazy choices for no reason. Yeah, I do it all the time.
That's the route that that's the route we normalize as people, is the easier route. I feel like,
It's sad.
And it just comes together. I will say, starting this week, I'm giving it a try. I'm trying that Blue Apron out because I'm trying to cook more, and I'm trying to find new things to cook. So I think it should be pretty fun. I like the whole idea that they give you everything you need in the recipe. So Justin's personal review coming soon.
I want to do that too. After I'm
also,
from here.
promo codes that you can use. Like if it's your first time doing the service, you can sign up and they give you a bunch of money off, and it's cool. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, man, it's man.
And the problem with cooking at home too is sometimes for me, I feel like I'm so wasteful because you'll have like a recipe, and then you get all this produce and you'll use like most of it, but you literally don't. I hate wasting stuff, but it's like, man, I don't know what I can do with this now. This leftover random stuff, and it's just like small little bits, and then, produce goes bad so quick. So you're like, dang,
sure does.
I hate doing that.
I agree.
It takes a lot of planning. So the Blue Apron would be, actually, that would be a fun, good route because it sounds like they just give you what you need. And eventually we're going to get a sponsor. We're going to get a percent code or whatever. We're going to read it.
Well, don't worry. Just stand by for that, and we'll do.
Shout out Blue Apron.
Shout out Blue Apron. Shout out Freshly. Shout out Eat Fresh. Shout out Hello Fresh. Hello.
Shout
out
Prison Mike.
The Dementors. But yeah,
man.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff. It's nice to hear your voice, Jesse. Let me just say that. It's nice to hear your voice. And dude, in a little bit, like if you have the extra produce, you're gonna be right down the road, so you can just bring it by if you have extra produce.
Oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm telling you, I can't wait.
I can't wait till we do a photo shoot together.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. We're gonna do. I was texting you earlier. And I thought it was funny. I was like, we're gonna do a podcast on the beach. And I was like, we're gonna do a pod on the tide, and I was like, we'll call it Tide Pods.
Tide Pods.
I thought that was so funny. I stumbled into that. And I was like, yeah, this episode of Tide Pods, because I see us sitting there with like two little beach chairs with a table and a computer, two of our microphone. Yep. And then the tide's just like right at our little toes, and our cameras are a little bit further back, so you can see the tide and you can hear it in the microphones. Just like,
yep. No more brew your mind, people.
Tide
Welcome
Pods.
to Tide Pod, where we ride the tide and you listen to the pod.
We are laid back. That's a gimmick that could work. I'm telling you this right now.
We should totally do a beach version or a beach episode.
Oh, we're going to. I've already made up my mind, and we're definitely call it Tide Pods. Brew your mind, Tide Pods, or whatever. It'll be like a different segment each time. We'll do it however often we visit each other.
I love it, dude. I love it, and man, did you know? It's this episode. Well, between this and next episode, that Brew Your Mind will be 1 year.
Oh my goodness!
1 year, people. Those that are stuck through the grind. 1 year down, many more to go. Yeah, it crept up. It's crazy how fast time flies, especially when we only do it like every other week now.
Dude, I am so proud of you. I will say, because when you started doing this, I'd seen 3 or 4 of my friends start to do a podcast with a group of friends, and they'll make it 3 months, maybe, and they drop off, because they see how much work it is. We work hard, but they just, they drop off. They don't keep at it. which is fine. You know, it's not for everyone. You figure it out pretty quick. And man, you've been doing this. I didn't hop on here with you until what, December? New Year's
man. But I mean,
something? Christmas time.
since December, we made sure that we stuck to the grind and the momentum. We keep riding it.
Yeah, man. I was down to clown.
Good stuff. Well, listen.
Well,
Let's not get carried away, but we do have green screens back today, so make sure you do check out the YouTube.
yeah.
And check out the awesome backgrounds that Jesse puts behind us. I don't know where we'll be today, but sometimes we're in Iceland
On a beach.
We'll be on a beach today, people.
Tide Pods.
Tide Pods.
Dude, I'm excited. I see this next little segment down here, number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to, you see what I'm looking at?
Yes.
Is that something
so number
that you got going on?
Number 4 has already occurred and will be placed randomly in this episode. So maybe
I got one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Okay, yeah.
I got one. Are we talking about the same thing? You said number 4 has already occurred, and we'll be placing this episode randomly.
The number 4 point. Before conclusion, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, we are talking about the same thing. We're talking about ad reads, everyone.
Yeah, if you guys, well, yeah. If you get to this point in the episode, you've already listened to the ad read. There's an ad read, people. Oh my gosh, we're sellouts. No, it's great. Listen to what is said. And
we're just supporting our friends.
It's special. That's what it is. It's a sweet collab. So it's sick. I won't dive too much into it because a lot of it has already been said.
Oh, nice. I got an ad read.
All right.
Actually, it's not even an ad read. It's just a jean company that I got some jeans from them, and I was like, I really like these jeans. Hold on, let me show the camera. You see?
Are you wearing them right now?
Oh yeah, man.
Hell
You
yeah.
hear it? You hear it? Yeah.
Those sound like good jeans.
Yeah. So I got some jeans, man, and they're like, if you like skinny jeans like me, they're not super skinny, but they're like stretchy, super comfortable, and they stick to you pretty well. But they're called The Perfect Jean. Is there more?
Love that.
Ain't that a good name? theperfectjean.nyc. They're in New York, of course, super cool. So I got the jeans in the mail, and I was like, man, I really like these. I like their packaging. And I was like, I wonder if they got an Instagram. So I went to their Instagram. They not super big, probably like 3,000 or 4,000 followers. I was like, maybe I'll just message them and see, if they'll give us a discount code, for the listeners. I was like, we got a bunch of, I will say that I think they're only guy jeans that they sell. I'm pretty sure. So fellas.
Sorry, women.
Yeah, I think so. But check out theperfectjean.nyc, and I do have a discount code. Are you ready for this, Justin?
Love that.
If you use this discount code on there, the discount code is BREW30. That is BREW 30 for 30% off. I ain't even used it yet, but I'm going to. But
Love it.
We'll say I got one pair of jeans, and I hate shopping online. And I saw this, I think this popped up on Instagram of all things. And I was like, dang, I need some new jeans. And I don't know why I took another chance, because everything I've bought off Instagram ads, little companies, this and that, have either showed up 3 months later, really shitty quality, not what it looks like at all. We've all done this.
Yep.
But this company is legit. All their packaging was great. Their presentation's great. And the person that messaged me, super friendly and helpful. Cool. So Brew 30 for 30% off. I really recommend you get a pair. They're super comfortable. If you want to dress like me, hit that Brew 30. You feel it, boy? We're not getting paid. We're not getting paid for this. I'm not getting paid. It's just because I like their jeans, and I was like, hey, I like your jeans. I want to promote it for nothing, because that's the kind of people we are.
Thanks
for doing that.
Thanks for doing that.
Skipping on to that, Justin, I got another silver bullet for you. Can't even talk, dude.
Yes, please. Deliver it to the people.
I got another silver bullet for the people. I'll explain what this is. All right, this is another little segment we're doing, at least for the next 20 episodes, 19. Got some silver bullets here, and I said that on the last episode, but it's written from a Chief Master Sergeant, Colon Lopez in the Air Force. All right, just a bunch of motivational stuff, to get you going, to make you keep in your head and sharpen them wings, you know what I'm saying? All right.
Zing.
We did number 1 last week, and I'm going to refresh on everyone what was number 1. Number 1 was if you want to fly with the eagles, don't hang around with the turkeys. Boom. All right. That's good stuff, right? That's what we've been doing.
Yep.
Number 2. Man, is this going to get you fired up, Justin? Number 2 is the path to success is not easy, cheap, or quick. It will require getting up an hour earlier or going to bed an hour later. And then it says down below, in a little paragraph, it says paying attention to detail, ensuring quality, striving for excellence, are all time-consuming tasks that are also taxing on the mind and body. However, the positive outcome of hard work and due diligence makes every second spent on any given task well worth it. Quality control is less painful and much easier than damage control. That's it right there, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It kind of goes back to what we're talking about, like DoorDash and stuff.
Yep.
Taking the easy path on things.
Mm-hmm.
And how frustrating is it that our stupid human brains always want to take the easy path?
Mm-hmm.
What's that last part say? I threw it on the ground because I got stoked. It said, the positive outcome of hard work and due diligence makes every second spent on any given task well worth it. That's true. I mean, think of it. Think of like when you're cooking with someone here, your significant other, your friends, you're cooking with your friends, and it turns out it's not even that good of food. But it's quality time you've spent learning something.
Yep.
You spent,
QT.
You spent learning how to, whether you like to cook this or not, or whether you can cook worth a damn. It don't matter. It's better than getting DoorDash, man. It's more fulfilling.
Yeah, and you also, you mentioned paying attention to detail. You mentioned that as well in that bullet. And I feel like that is such an underrated skill for people to have. And it's very important to also master. Because I used to struggle with it the most. But if you know if that's like something you are lacking in that department, you suck with the details, and you try to focus and you try to harness it and you try to get better at it, I promise you will not get disappointed. And that skill will be used in many aspects of your life, probably more at work, but still, I mean, it's very rewarding too if you can find those little things that no one else sees. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. That's a great bullet, Jesse. What else you got before I shut it down?
Man, I don't know. I hope everyone is just out there grinding. I hate that word, by the way. I'm over it. When people say rise and grind.
Back to the grind.
Whatever, grinding. We just out here grinding at the gym or something. Man, come on. You ever thought about, like, we're talking about normalizing stuff. How funny is it how common it is that people go to the gyms now? And, like, back in the day, there wasn't a thing of, like, you'd never see people jogging, going to the gym. Like, I'm talking, back in the 30s, 20s, 30s?
Yeah.
That wasn't really a common thing,
True.
So it's like, is it just a counter or bad American eating? All the fast food chains and all the
Could be.
beer everyone's drinking all the time?
Could be.
I don't know. I say we get rid of gyms altogether. No more jogging. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I never did like dudes named Jim.
Jimothy.
James. Jimothy.
Oh man. What you got going on this week now? So you're on night shift?
Yes. For another month or so. And
Did you have family visit or something?
Oh yeah, had the fam come down from Georgia. Sweet fam. They stayed with us. And I was on night shift basically the whole time, so I didn't get to spend too much time with them. I was sleeping while they're hanging out. But we were able to still have fun. But yeah, rest of the week, we looking to big chill. Hey, NFL football is back. Sports are back, people, in full effect. But I don't want to talk about anything like the basketball. Basketball world sucks. I hate it. Don't want to talk about anything.
Oh, man. Follow Justin on Twitter. You've been stressing. I don't even know it's so funny out of context. Your tweets look like you've been depressed and anxiety driven, like worried about life. And then I look further into it. I'm like, oh, he's just talking about sports.
Yeah, you
like
know me,
you type in the paragraph like, I'm not worried. And I'm like, man, if I didn't know you, I would think this guy is like on the edge. Like he's like, I don't want to.
That's so funny.
I'm done with this.
I don't think about anything like that. I don't proofread my tweets as you got to witness.
Oh, you had a good one. What was it? Oh man!
For those that don't follow me on Twitter, listen. Here's the backstory, okay? Before I read the tweet, I'm going to work, right? And I'm pumping gas, and after I pump gas, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get all the gas out of I'm trying to get my money's worth, trying to get every last drop, So doing that, I'm like, wow, that's something I do pretty much all the time, I don't just pull it out right away. I don't pull off the gas. I'm trying to be careful with the words I say. I try not to, put it back. I don't try to put it away right away. So.
It's so funny.
So after I did that, I was like, I wonder if anyone else feels the same as I do. So what do? I go to Twitter and I tweet it because, of course, that's what we do in this day and age. And this is what I tweet, all right? And this is what I tweet, okay? When you guys finish pumping, how long do you leave the nozzle in? I'm there for an extra 5 minutes, it feels like, to get every last drop. So...
It's so funny hearing you read it again.
So,
oh my God.
I tweeted that, and then I went to work, right? And I think I checked my phone a couple hours later during a break, and I had weird gifs, like weird flex, but okay. I had a gif saying, just what I thought, a pervert. And then that's when I was like, oh no. And I read it again. And I see, when I said you guys, I meant not like guys in general, the people on Twitter. And then it didn't help that Sam, our good friend Sam, decided to quote or reply, and he said, "Good Lord, Justin." Yeah. So of course, when he says something, his followers see it, and then all of a sudden, he's get people replying to him says, "Well, it depends what you're talking about," or it's crazy stuff like that. I'm like, you don't even know me.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm just curious. Are you guys at the gas pump for a while? The listeners, do you try to get your money worth, or
I shake it? I definitely shake it.
You definitely
get every last drop. I leave it in and shake it rapidly. Get my money's worth.
I feel like I'm there for an extra 5 minutes.
I like that rattle. Worth. You hit that rattle on it, like that.
All right. Well, anything else, Jesse? That was a proper way to send it. I tried to finish it off the silver bullet, but then we had to finish with that. So what else you got?
Man, I know we're just gonna keep rambling, but you were talking about like Sam and Twitter. Like he's got a ton of followers, right? And it's always it's something I always see with people with a lot of followers. The amount of stupid replies people get that make me not ever want to get bigger than anything. I don't want to get any exposure at all because like the amount of dumb like things people say that you have to allow that into your little social media world. And at that point, I mean, he's got so many followers, it's nuts. But it's like, it makes me not want to be famous at all.
Yeah, and I don't know anyone that, like the people that I follow, he handles all those followers so well.
Yeah,
and like the awful reply, he just handles it so well. He lives for it, and I think it's awesome. I'd like to imagine that's how I'd be if I had that many followers. To
Probably.
get the sarcastic replies, whatnot, and fire back his way or their way. But as we mentioned, Sam, he's actually starting a blog today. It's official. He's got it a website and everything. It's called thedeckerpost.com. So if you guys want to check out our good friend Sam, it's a sweet place where he's going to go and talk about, a lot of stuff that probably that hasn't been shared before. A lot of stuff and how he feels, like the experiences that he's felt throughout the time. So I found it super cool. He ditched us on the pod. He's supposed to be on today, but ditched us and decided to work on his blog. So I'm a little salty about that.
He's going to start a podcast
Yeah.
next.
Huh?
He's going to start a
Yeah, he's going to run us out of
podcast.
business too.
Probably.
I'm pissed. But yeah, hey, good talking with you again today, Jesse. I'll miss you. I don't talk to you at all when we're not on the pod, so it was nice hearing your voice.
I don't know why. Why don't we talk more? Hey, look, we still got to play Fall Guys. We still got to play some Call of Duty. We still got to do all these things. I don't understand why we don't play video games.
I just wish you'd FaceTime me more. But
I'll do it.
Thank you so much, people, for listening to this again. Hope you enjoyed our conversation. Make sure you go to the Brew Your Mind Pod Instagram page. Check out this week's teaser and this week's whatever we might be drinking. Try to upload a picture of our beautiful Pete's Coffee or our Props beer. Check out the YouTube channel next Monday, for the full video. Put the face to voice. And we hope you guys stay safe. Don't forget to brew your mind.
Don't forget to brew your mind.